Hey guys, welcome back to another Matchmasters video on this channel. The amazing developers at Candivore, which are the makers of Matchmasters, do a great job at listening to their community, and they heard our call. In my last video, I showed off the debut of their new mode, Mutation Lab, and since that video, they have actually revised the mode to make it even sweatier. They went back through and added new and more powerful mutations that will truly push your skills to new limits. These new mutations are categorized into 3 groups. You've got permanent mutations, instant mutations, and limited mutations. You have permanent mutations that last the entire match. You have instant mutations that only work once, and limited mutations that you get for a couple of moves or sometimes the entire turn. This upgrade feels like a whole new level, and they have taken the craziness up a few notches. And I mean, they really turned these mutations up. They've really gone through and made sure that they stepped up the mutations to make for even more entertaining gameplay than the original version. And you can find this new mode in rotation on the weekends and every single Wednesday. We're gonna hop into a match, and I'm gonna show you exactly how sweaty this new mode is. But before we do that, I want to let everyone know that there's only a few spots left on my team in Matchmasters. So if you're new to Matchmasters or you're a seasoned veteran, I welcome you to join the Dab Nation. So I'll leave the link down below if you want to join us. All right, let's go hop into a match now. And along the way, I'm going to share with you guys some tips and tricks that I found that helped me get way further into the Mutation Lab than I could without knowing these. And number one being, make sure you use UFO Booster. When you activate the UFO Booster, it swoops in and grabs a whole bunch of tiles, but the best thing is it will never grab any of your energy tiles. And this is going to leave you a lot of energy tiles at play when it's done. Now, once UFO's done doing its thing, it'll leave and you'll see an eyeball up at the top. And whatever color you match next, that eyeball will grab every single one of that color off the board. So when the eye's available, if you pick any of the energy tiles, it'll grab every single energy tile around it, refilling your booster instantly. And theoretically, with this strategy, you can keep popping your UFO booster over and over and over. I've tried using many other strategies like Foxy Roxy SE and Cobra Queen and El Magneto, and none of them have come close to using UFO. Another tip and trick about this mode is the perk combination you're going to use. Matchmaster is probably 50% skill and 50% luck, so at the beginning of every match, you don't know if you're going to get a good roll or not. And what I mean by that is sometimes there's a lot of energy for you to match up right at the beginning, and then other times there's not a single one for you to match. So if you want to start the match without having to waste a single move, make sure you use Star Maker and it'll put them all over the board for you. This way you can get UFO started doing its thing as soon as possible. And if you find yourself in a pinch and there's no energy tiles to match up, you can use Mini Cleo to hopefully duplicate a whole bunch of them. Now, as you can see on the screen, UFO just keeps dumping energy tiles on me over and over. And sure, you could run this strategy the entire time, but there's kind of a catch to it. As you get further into the Mutation Lab, you need more and more points to get to the next milestone. So even though this is an amazing strategy, over time, you're going to lose the amount of turns you're gaining back at the end of each milestone. So the first few milestones, you're going to have full moves the entire time. But as you get into those further ones, you're going to want to use another strategy that I like to call the extra move strategy. In a lot of other Matchmaster modes, when your booster is ready, normally you just instantly tap it. But in the Mutation Lab with this strategy, when you get into the later stages, you're actually going to want to make sure there aren't any extra moves before you hit your booster. And this is going to give you a chance to hopefully recoup those moves as you're gaining points to get to the next milestone. So before you hit the booster button, look all over the board and see if there's any 4 that you can match so that you can recoup some of your moves. Now, another tip I want to give about the Mutation Lab is every time you hit a milestone, you're going to get to pick a new mutation to put on the mode. And sometimes the ones that say instant are going to be the coolest looking ones. But in the long run, they're not going to help you out, which is why I suggest always trying to pick the best permanent option. And once you get into those later milestones, you're going to thank me because you're going to need those permanent mutations to even have a chance at keeping this thing going. And the few I suggest you always try to pick permanently is there's one that makes it to where boosters cost less to activate. There's one that makes bombs drop way more often on the board. And then there's a crazy one that activates all specials as soon as they spawn. And that is literally the number one you want to make sure you always tap. Like I said, they really went back through all of these and made sure they amped it up a little bit. Now remember, Matchmasters, like I said, is 50% luck and 50% skill about making the correct move at the correct time. So even if you don't make it all the way to the last milestone, you're still going to earn some DNA points to get that sweet, sweet prize and just try again. And when this is out, there is a pretty fat reward if you get all the DNA needed. And that's currently the best strategy I have for the Mutation Lab, but if I find out any other ones, I'll be sure to make a video about it. These changes bring a whole new level to the gameplay for sure. There is a reason this mode was my favorite already, and this just solidifies that even more. I can't wait to see what the amazing people at Matchmasters come up with next. Now remember, this mode is available every Wednesday and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that gives you multiple chances per week for getting the huge prize for collecting all the DNA. We're talking a box with 3 SE boosters, 1 legendary booster, 35 stars, 2 perk boxes, and 1,000 trophies. Now, before we go, I want to ask, what is your favorite booster and perk combination to use in the Mutation Lab? Let me know in the comment section down below. Big shout out to Matchmasters for sponsoring today's video, and make sure you use the link down below or the QR code on the screen to download Matchmasters today. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new, and thanks for watching today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Later.